everyone, Mr. Gray3IS here, and I'm back with another video. Hope you like the new intro. I wanted to go ahead and get an official intro going for the channel finally, so there it is. Today's video I'm pretty excited about. We are going to be installing the 12 volt solutions plug and play remote start system. And some of you guys might be like, wait a second, Mr. Gray3IS, don't you already have the system installed? I do have a system from 12 volt solutions on my car. It makes it so you have remote start and an app for the remote start, so you can see your car's battery, you can start and stop it from the app, you can unlock it and lock it from the app, see its location, all that. It's really cool. But they just recently released, well actually haven't yet released, this is the first install for the IS. It will be on their website soon, but they just released a version of the plug and play remote start system that allows for Takeover. So what Takeover is you can start the car from your phone or from the key, depending on if you have the phone module edition, and then you can go ahead and unlock it, or unlock it by grabbing the handle, hop in and go without it shutting off. This is a feature that a lot of other car models have from the factory, and Lexus just doesn't. Same with Toyota. It's kind of a safety feature, but thankfully they were able to find a way to bypass that feature, and now we can have plug and play remote start with Takeover, and we can just get in and go. None of that shutting off the car, having to restart it. I'm just so excited for this. So it's equally as easy as the other one that I installed. If you haven't seen my first video, it's just unplug a few connectors, plug in a few connectors, and you're good to go. This is the same thing. It utilizes one of the same plugs, which I'll show you in a moment, and then it has two new plugs that plug into an ECU kind of under the glove box right there. So we will be running a harness from driver's side, plugging it in and plugging it into a little ECU. It's 3 connectors that we're intercepting with a T connection, and that's it. It's pretty simple. So all you're gonna need for this install is a 10mm socket or wrench. I'm using a ratchet with a socket, and a Phillips screwdriver, and a pry tool you can also use, which would be a plus, but all we're gonna be doing is removing some panels and removing some sections of the interior and plugging stuff in. Now, the first portion of this install for me is going to actually be unplugging my current one. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug it from the steering column, which I actually just already did. Unplug it from down here and just pull it out so I can start fresh for you guys. Now, to do that, all I'm going to do is release this bottom panel here, which is a Phillips screw right there, Phillips screw right there, and then it just clips down. Then from there, what we can do is go ahead and pull this section down, which you kind of just get your fingers behind here and pull. I have some wires behind there, actually a lot, so don't worry about that. And then we go ahead on the other side and also pull, and this whole section will come down, and we can reach where we need to get to right behind there. It's actually that white connector back there. All right, so this seems a little messy, but that's just because I have a lot more wires than you guys will have. But without these wires there, I dropped this panel down on either side, right here and right there. What I'm also going to go ahead and do is drop down the bottom half of the steering column. It's really easy, it's just clips, and there's a screw on like kind of either side of behind the steering wheel. So what we're gonna do is turn on the car real quick. I have to make sure my Bluetooth was off, and then what you can do is turn the wheel halfway, undo that Phillips, and then there's another one on the other side, and this panel just pops down and out, and we can get our hands behind there a little easier, because with this there, you're kind of hitting your hand on it and it's hard to get a good reach behind where we need to go. All right, here's the bottom of the steering column. It just pops down and then out like so, and we can put that aside, and now we have a much better access to in there. So now that we have this access, make sure your car is off. It does not need to be on, but I just went ahead and unplugged what we needed to unplug, which is this top connector there. So once you unplug that connector, it is right here. We're gonna go ahead and intercept that connector with the new connector from the kit. So now's a good time to kind of go through what the kit comes with. When you open it up, it'll look like this. It'll have a website to go to for install videos and whatnot. For this model, of course, there's not one out there yet. There's only a Tacoma install video, which similar connectors, but it's different locations. They're all on the driver's side versus on the Lexus and some other cars. Part of the connectors are on the passenger side behind the glove box. Then you get a little towel. This is a really cool towel. You can just use it for whatever. And then here is the harness, which has the connectors. And this is the brains of everything, the remote start module. So I'll get to this in a sec, but for now we are going to plug in one of these connectors. All right, so here's what the connector looks like. It's pretty long because it needs to travel across the underside of the dash. This is for the passenger side, and the side with the red and blue connectors that plug into the corresponding red and blue on this box, will be on the driver's side right down there. So that white connector we just unplugged, we're gonna intercept with this. So the one you unplugged, you're gonna plug into here, and then you'll plug this back into the car. All right, it is plugged in, and I'm going to plug it back in now above the other white one, and it just slides in like so, and it'll click, boom. And once it's in, we have the rest of the connector down here, and these red and blue portions we can worry about in just a second. So for now, we're gonna get to disassembling the kind of middle part down here. I'm gonna start on this side because you replicated on the other side, but to start, all you're gonna do is pop this panel out, kind of like this way. There's one clip, and then, well, you pop it out and then it slides out like that. And this is what the backside looks. There's that clip, and then these are the guys that slide into there, and you just slide out. And then from here, all we're gonna do is pull this panel out. It's just a clip like this. Set that aside as well. So next step is, actually we're gonna remove this entire glove box area, and it's not too difficult, don't worry. All right, so from here, what you're gonna do is start by pulling this bottom panel down. It is just clips. So what you're gonna do is kind of get your hand here, and you can pull right down like that. And my light just popped out of the socket by doing that, but what you would do is just twist the light out like so, and now this bottom panel is out. And then next we can get our hands behind here and pop this side panel out. Let me zoom out a little bit, like so. And then this will reveal access to one of the 10 mils that we need to take off, which is right here. And then there's also one more right there. And then the last one is right there. And once you take those off, it will release the airbag to come down. It's kind of in 3 sections. We'll take this off, the airbag, and then the glove box. So just 1 second, I'm gonna take those 10 mils out. All right, now that the 3 10 millimeters are out, we can go ahead and pull down on this whole airbag, and that's the airbag connection right there. I don't want you guys to release that. I'm not gonna release it. I'm just gonna kind of let it hang down, and we're just gonna leave it be as we do the rest of the install. There's no need to remove it. All right, from here, it's fairly simple. We have 5 Phillips screws, 1, 2 under the glove box, and then when you open the glove box, you're gonna have 3 up top. 1, 2, 3. And once you unscrew all 3 of those, the glove box is gonna come right out just like the rest of the stuff here. It is all unscrewed, and just like I explained, you pull out a little bit, and here it is, the whole glove box. So give me a second. All right, you can just kind of let it sit on its side like that, but this is what we need access to. This little ECU box right here, and those 2 connectors on either side back there are gonna connect to that one and that one. And these are the only other connectors we have to intercept, and that is it. We are done plugging in stuff. So all we need to do now is route the cables through the middle, kind of under through there. I'm gonna find the best way to do that by popping off these same panels on that side. I'll show you guys in just a moment. It kind of looks messy, I know, but it's really easy to put back together. If you guys know these cars, they're like Legos. It's clips and screws, and that's it. Super simple. All right, so I got this panel popped off just the same as the other side, and I'm going to try and pass them right through the bottom right there. As you can see, there's daylight right out the other side, and it is kind of a thin passageway, but thankfully the only things we need to pass through is this, which is thin, and then this can go right behind it. It's literally 2 of these same types of connectors, and they're both very thin, and it's just a little loom, so it should be pretty straightforward. So I have the first side of the connector here, and all I'm gonna do is literally put it here and push through, just like that, and it pretty easily slides in all the way down there, and I'm gonna go around the other side and grab it. All right, I'm at the other side, and there it is right there. I can reach my fingers in, and you can kind of push it through that side while feeding it through this side, and you'll see it come right through here, like so, and then we'll just push the other exact version of that through here as well. What we're gonna do is run it up through the back here and to there. All right, and here is the second one coming through. It's a little bit of like a tight fit because it has to fit slimly like this. So So you just want to make sure everything lays nice and flat and slides through. But yeah, we have both connectors slid through fairly easily, and then we're just going to route them up this way real quick. So all I'm doing is routing the wires up and under this black part here, and they're coming out this way. They're literally right here. And all I'm going to do in a second is push these wires up into here, so they're kind of tucked back in this way once I'm done. But now that they are right here, we're going to go ahead and plug them in. Like I said, they're going to use either side of these, so the far bottom, the white, and the far top, the black. And if you're like, wait, they're both white, which one do I use? These connectors are actually different. As you can tell, this one looks like that, and then this one looks like that. They are slightly different, very slightly. Pay attention to how many dots they have. So let's check out which is which. It's looking like the less dotty one is probably going to be the white one on the bottom. Yep, so the one with less dots is the white one on the bottom, so I went ahead and unplugged it. We're going to plug this new intercepted one back in, and to get this top one out, all you do is push the tab just like the white one. Let me get a better angle for you guys. And you do want to give these tabs a very firm push all the way down. And then from here, we're going to take the connector, plug it into the black one, and then plug that back into there. All right, they are now both plugged in, as you can tell. And before we wrap everything up here and just tuck it all away, I want to show you how to do the module that you have to plug in, so we can go ahead and test that everything works correctly. Now I'm going to show you how to program this module right here. All we're going to be using are these red and blue connectors. The other connectors on this side are for if you have the Wi-Fi module, which looks like this right here. And the only reason you would have this is if you had the app version of the remote start, which means you can remote start it from your phone and not just the key fob. If you do have that, please go ahead and check out my first video. It stays the same for this. I'm just going to literally unplug it and transfer it over to this new module, and it's going to be the exact same. And then really all you guys need to know is how to do this sequence I'm about to tell you right now. What you're going to do is have all your doors shut, and it's okay to have your driver door open just for this right here, but you're going to have to simulate it being closed in a second, which you can do by holding this down, and the car is going to think the driver door is closed. So what you need to do is take this box right here. There's a button on the side. There's a little window where there's going to be an LED. So what we're going to do is hold down this button and then plug in the blue connector. So holding down, plug in blue connector. It should flash orange and then go to red. Okay, now it's on red after you let go. We're going to go ahead and plug this red one in. So from here, what you're going to do is have the key in your car and press the start button twice to turn on the ignition. It's going to flash green like so. Give it a second. And then you're going to press the ignition once to turn off the car. And then you're going to press the button twice again to cycle the ignition on one more time. And it's going to be flashing orange and stay solid orange. Once the ignition's off, it's going to be flashing like so. We're going to shut all doors of the car or press the button to simulate them being closed. Lock the car once, and then unlock the car. And it should, boom, solid green. There we go, and it'll turn off. All right, so from here it is programmed, and we can go ahead and test the operation to make sure it's all good. We are gonna want all doors to be closed, and the only way for this driver door to close is if this section right here is clipped up. So for the time being, I'm just gonna messily clip this up so I can shut the driver door, and we can go ahead and test to make sure it works. All right, so I have it kind of put together just on the side there so I can close the door. We're gonna go ahead and lock it. All right, the car is locked. So we can go ahead and step back. And what we're gonna do is press the lock button 3 times. All right, it's gonna sequence. And the car is started at this point. Now the car is locked, so what we can go ahead and do from here is simulate the takeover feature. So you can either unlock it with your key fob right here, or you can unlock it from your door handle. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. So what we're gonna do is unlock it. All right, and then from here we can hop in the car. Notice the car is still running. Isn't that super cool? I've never ever felt this feeling before. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and hop in. All right, now as you can tell, everything is lit up. All of the screens and lights and everything are good. I have these lights turned on manually, that's why they're so bright. So at this point, you just give the car like 2 seconds. It's already been 2 seconds. And all you're gonna do is put your foot on the brake like normal. No need to press the start button or anything. The car is on. And what's gonna happen is the lights and the dash and everything are gonna shut off and then turn back on, but the car is gonna stay running. That's just a sequence it does to cycle through, but don't worry about it. So we're gonna put the foot on the brake and I'll put it into drive. So foot on the brake, as you can see, everything shuts off and it just did a, there you go, cycle on. And I am now in drive. I can start moving. So, boom, just like that. And then once you're done, obviously like normal, you can put in park, shut it off, and then I'll shut these off so they're not manually on. Get out like normal, like so. Shut the door, lock it, and yeah, it's a normal car with Takeover, remote start. Boom. Fairly easy install. This whole thing took me like 25 minutes while filming too. So it's not as intimidating as it looks, I swear. And all we're left with is this module to tuck away into there and put the glove box on in the reverse method, put the side panels on, and we're good to go. We're done. It's that easy. Just like that. Took like 5 minutes. Everything is back together and perfect. Same with passenger side. As you guys saw from how you took it apart, it's pretty easy to put back together. Phillips and 10mm, and that's it. So one last remote start just for fun because I'm so excited about it. All right, step back here. Oh yeah. Nice. Let's go ahead and hop in. Easy peasy. And we are in, just like that. Dang. And of course, you can go ahead and foot on the brake. Put it in drive. And we're good to start driving forward. Yep, and I actually opened my trunk, so I need to close my trunk. But other than that, yeah, I mean, that easy, that simple. And like 35 minutes later, probably 25 minutes for you guys, install is done. We have plug and play remote start, we have Takeover, and I also reinstalled my app module, so I have it on my Apple Watch and on my phone. Super easy. I can access everything on there as well. Integrates into your OEM key fob, 3 clicks. Unlike OEM Lexus Remote Start, which I actually like this part, you do 3 clicks and then you let go. You don't have to hold it on the first click and hope it's still making contact with the car. It's just 3 clicks, unlock, and you're good to go. Just like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to 12 Volt Solutions for sending this kit out and allowing me to make the first tutorial video for this model and for every other model that has a similar install. Fairly simple. Like I said in the beginning, it will be available soon on their website. This was to make sure it worked perfectly fine, which it does, and then to make sure the install went super smooth, which it did. So soon to be on their website. I will definitely post on my Instagram story when it is on there. I'll send a link for it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this install. I love stuff like this. Plug and play is my thing. Please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at gray_3is for anything at all. I have some cool videos coming here in the near future, and I appreciate all of y'all's support. So without further ado, this has been Mr. Gray3is. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Walking